It's fun. What's up, Buckeye Nation? You're tuned in to the Buckeye Cast, coming at you loud and proud, bringing strong opinions and salty humor to Ohio State football. These fellas were born and bred in the Buckeye State, and their brand of banter is guaranteed to entertain and excite you. But if you're not a Buckeye, don't bother. Visit us at thebuckeyecast.com and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at The Buckeye Cast to stay up to date on all things Ohio State football. And be sure to subscribe on iTunes, SoundCloud, or Stitcher. Now here's your host, Joe Warwick.
What's up, Buckeye Nation? Thank you for joining us. Got Shawn coming to us from the road. Where you at, Shawn?
Just crossed in the Michigan border on my way back from Chicago. The Bears.
The weather sounds lovely.
Oh, thank you.
Well, thank you for joining us, friends and family and fans. As always, like the kind lady said, you can find us on social media at the Buckeye Cast, and always hit up the website, thebuckeyecast.com. We have the latest show and the most recent game up there. We have a shitload of stuff to run through tonight. We're going to talk Michigan State beatdown. We'll recap that quickly. And yeah, and Shawn will have a nice perspective from the Detroit area of the Sparty fan feedback, and then we'll talk about beating the Fighting Illinois.
What is an Illini?
I think it's an old Indian tribe, ancient Indian tribe. I don't know.
Or if you're from Illinois, are you an Illini or are you a Illinoisan?
So yeah, we'll get into that, of course. The important topics, all the important stuff will be covered on this show. And of course, we'll always hit you up with our microscope segment and our predictions for the game. We do have a couple of Twitter questions, and we'll polish it off with some CFP playoff talk. Not too spicy this week, so unfortunately kind of blew our load last week on the CFP talk. So anyway, let's jump into this Michigan State Sparty beatdown. 48-3. Did not allow Sparty in the end zone. That was probably the highlight of my day. But the 335 rushing we put up was a nice little starting point. What'd you think about Mikey Weber's home runs?
Oh, man, I loved it. I didn't, they always say that Mikey didn't have that breakaway gear. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe Sparty's just slow, but he looked fast enough on those two.
I think the hammy's okay now.
Yeah, I would. That's what I'm thinking. Great game for Mike Weber. Good to see him back. Man, that's nice. When he's 100% and Dobbins is 100%, Good luck.
Yeah, $162 and $124 respectively out of those two guys. I'll take that. Didn't ask JT to do too much. He did enough.
And he didn't.
Yeah. So he lived up to what we were looking for. And honestly, I love getting back to the running game and what we do best, and putting the responsibility of our success on the offensive line and really the defensive line too. Both sides of the ball. Herb's mantra is always win the line of scrimmage, and we definitely did that.
Well, of course, that's why Alabama wins it every year. If you got the best lines in football, you're going to be a powerhouse. You're always going to contend if your O&D lines are good. That's it. Run the football, good D-line.
Yeah, defensively allowed under 200 yards of total offense from Gang Green. I like that. Like those kind of numbers. Kickoff coverage, much improved. And only 2 penalties.
Kickoff coverage was dynamite, man.
It was. Finally got the freshman Heibel to consistently spot that ball inside the 5, just outside the hashes. That was good. And then the coverage team was much improved.
Yeah.
So the two penalties was a highlight for me, honestly.
I saw that. I knew you were going to be all excited about that.
Yeah, far below our season average.
And I just heard some numbnuts commentator talking about that, actually. Or maybe it was you. Either way. Right. You can wear this bitch. Cinderella. Someone was saying about, hey, the Buckeyes undisciplined. I think it was an article I read on something. And, at this point, they just are who they are, and they're not going to be able to clean that up. And bam, 2 penalties. So whoever said that, fuck you. And if it was you, Warwick, fuck you.
I was not. I have not accepted the fact that should be par for the course. I'm not down with that. I think those are things that you have to clean up over a season's time. I think it's taken way too long to clean them up, honestly. So. Anyway,
I think there's a new refocus, dedication to this season. They're focused,
right?
As they were last week.
They've had plenty of things to work on, plenty of areas of improvement. O-line and the linebackers played much better, and that's even without Baker and Booker. So I thought that was very interesting, and I'm all over Tough Borland in the middle. I think you are too, right?
No, what I was saying about the linebackers, I think we finally found our man in Tough Borland. The games that he's played, he just looks solid. I don't know if he's got the physical abilities as the other guys, but he's a rock there in the middle. I think, I've read it other places, so it seems to be pretty common knowledge that tough in the middle, you go to Worley, back to the outside, where he does a lot better, and hopefully Baker wakes up from his nap and starts playing to his caliber of football.
Yeah.
So that to me is the way it should be going forward here. And if Booker and Worley split time on one of the outside, that's the way it has to go. Or maybe Tough still has to rotate in some plays with Worley in the middle. I don't know. It's kind of nice. I feel like Worley can do decent in the middle. He can do better on the outside, but we got a couple guys that can play the position.
That's my opinion. I think Worley belongs on the outside as that walkout Darren Lee type linebacker. That's where he thrived last year. I think you keep him out there. I think moving him to the middle, like I mentioned in my extra points on Monday, was a dumb fucking idea. I blame the linebacker coach again. He's squarely in my crosshairs, by the way. I just think Worley belongs outside and then bring in Tough Borland into the middle. I don't know how Booker fits into that plan, and maybe he doesn't. So anyway, just to polish off the Michigan State recap, D-line had 6 sacks, 9 TFLs, played up to par, what we expect from the D-line. And just a couple of negative things were the 2 picks by JT. Those were bad passes. Again, got lured in by the DBs. Second half scoring stalled out. And a nitpicky thing is the punt returns are still kind of blah. Nothing happening on the punt return front.
Yeah, but I think the second half stall out, I mean, that's kind of the design. You're not going to, I don't know. Michigan State's probably going to be pretty good next year. We're going to have a new quarterback. Herb's like, I don't know if I want to hang 65 on these boys.
Yeah, I get your point.
I feel like we took the foot off the gas in the second half.
Yeah, I see your point, and you don't want to use or give them motivation in the future, but still, you're trying to win games and somewhat with style points now.
Well, I thought it was pretty stylish.
Yeah, definitely.
45 to give up 3. I was watching the game with a couple buddies that are big Spartan fans, and I was embarrassed for them when they went for 3. Like, really?
Yeah.
You guys better start scoring touchdowns. That ain't going to do much for you. And one agreed. The other was like, nah, we don't want to get shut out. I'm like, same fucking thing.
Yeah, what was it, 35-0 when they kicked that field goal?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's going to do it.
You only need about 15 more of those.
Right.
So, Yeah. Any interesting perspective from your cohorts there up in the
No,
state up north?
unfortunately, the two big Sparty mouths were AWOL for some reason last night at the poker game. So I told them, I said, I missed. I wanted to catch up with you guys, talk to you about a couple things.
Right.
But, yeah, they were no-show. I don't know. Did Call of Duty or something come out? Maybe there's no game.
Nice. Interesting. So, yeah, let's jump into this Illini game this Saturday coming up. We got a 3:30 game on ABC. Can't really tell you a lot about Illinois other than they're still Illinois.
They still got that coach, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Lovey?
Yeah. He's basically in a rebuilding mode from, like, the foundation. So he's going back to square one. I hope they give him time. He's going to need it.
I would have thought he'd be trending in a better direction already, and I don't see it.
Yeah, you would think so, but it's going to take a while. I don't know what their solution is. I don't know anything about their recruiting base or anything. But these guys are they're not good. They're 2-8 right now. They did beat Ball State and they beat Western Kentucky the first two. Started off like gangbusters first 2 weeks of the season, but has been on a nice, cool 8-game losing streak.
They're riding a cooler, man.
Exactly.
Been there.
Yeah. So they got their noses wide open at the craps table. So injury report doesn't really have a lot going on. Although Booker is still questionable, Baker has been cleared and is good to go. Both of them were in concussion protocol and were late scratches to last week's game. So we'll see what happens with Booker going forward. He may be a scratch again this week. So I'd say rest him. Let's have everybody healthy from Michigan.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I don't think I want to see a lot of people playing on Saturday.
Right.
A lot of people.
Yeah, so let's get into our microscopes real quick. No great changes in the two deep, so have at it. Who do you have on offense?
On offense, I've got Haskins and Burrow. I just told you I want to see a lot of people play. I think this is one of those games that I know Herb usually likes to come out with the starters in the second half. I think it's smart. You keep that thing going, but I would think sometime in the third we get to see a bit of Haskins, and then hopefully in the fourth we get to see some Burrow.
Yeah.
It's the future. I just want to see more of these guys as we're wrapping up this season, because unless something happens to JT, I think this will kind of be our last opportunity to see them in any meaningful minutes. So kind of the backup quarterbacks who I got my microscope on this week, just for future posterity. And on defense, I'm going back to my boy Baker. He's been playing awful. Had my mic on him a couple times. He's letting me down. I think he might be hearing, because a lot of people are starting to talk about Jerome Baker and potential and not living up to it. So I want to see how he responds. I think he will respond in a big way. So those are guys.
Yeah, I was leaning Baker as well, just because the kind of down year he's had. But yeah, I'm going to put my microscopes on Paris Campbell. I want to see if he's back and if he's actually going to be productive on offense. And then on defense, everybody looked really good last week. So I'm gonna look at Blake Heibel, the kicker, and see if he can be consistent with his kickoffs. Obviously, we're going to be scoring a shitload this week again, and we're going to have a lot of opportunities for kickoffs. Let's see if he can put 7 or 8 in a row in that same spot. How's that sound?
I'd take 3 out of 4.
Yeah, that's fine. 75%. I think Herb wants a little bit better batting average than that. But, yeah, I'll take 3 out of 4. That's fine.
Well, better than that. Wherever he kicks it, if they run it, let's tackle the guy.
Yeah, the coverage is the big challenge, not the actual kick itself. We've gone over that a million times, Jesus. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that this is Senior Day, last game for the seniors in the shoe.
Which we have a bunch of. I mean,
yeah,
a bunch of serious seniors on this team.
And starters, JT, Billy Price, Taekwon.
Webb,
yeah. Last day in the shoe, I'm sure it's going to be emotional, and they'll have their hug with Herb at midfield and pictures with mom and dad and stuff. So I'm sure it'll be a tearjerker, and then they'll
one for the ages.
Yep. And so let's get into our predictions. Spread's 41, over/under is 55. What do you think? I should mention forecast is 100% rain as of right now.
Oh, really? 100% rain.
Yeah.
Do the math in my head. That's going to tighten it up a little bit, I think. Okay. I'm going 55-10.
Okay. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm going to go 49-3. I don't think they get in the end zone. I think Illinois just doesn't have the horses, and I think the weather might hold us back from really putting up big numbers. So 49-3 is my prediction. What's that?
I just want to see us go over that 300-yard mark.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I agree. I don't foresee that being a big problem.
Anymore.
So let's get into our Twitter questions here. We got the usual suspects chiming in with their always thought-provoking questions. The Buckeye Jason at Jason33887 has 2 questions this week. Very interesting. These are kind of big picture questions. Due to all the open head coaching jobs, say Urban announces he is done after this season, who are your top 3 candidates?
Oh, geez. None of those losers that got fired. I think, I don't know if you can now lure Tom Herman back after he's got his Texas job. PJ Fleck, I want to be a big PJ Fleck fan, but I just don't know yet. But some up-and-comer like that, a younger guy with some passion, something in the mold of that. I like that Oklahoma coach. What's his name, that young guy?
Yeah, Lincoln Riley.
Yeah, someone in that mold.
Right. But do you want somebody that's not that experienced, is my question? Because there's a lot of young guys that have just gotten their first head coaching job and maybe aren't ready for it, Like the hot name down here for the Florida job, for the former Nebraska quarterback, Scott Frost. So he's a big name now, and I'm not sure he's really done much, He's put together.
UCF getting ranked, though.
Sure, and that's great.
Consistently ranked.
But that's just, this is his second year. I mean, let's put together 5 to 10 years of winning at more than one program. Kind of like Herb's.
Yeah.
Herb's trail he took was, BG, then Utah, and then Florida. So he kind of, worked the ladder a little bit.
Yeah, but we lucked out on that whole ordeal and how that all came about.
Right, but you typically don't go from MAC school or whatever UCF is in to big-time Big Ten football, like an Ohio State.
Where are you going to come from, though? I mean, I guess, if you're one of them small pack coaches,
yeah,
or, in them smaller programs, but where are you going to grab guys from?
You got to go take a big swing at like a Chip Kelly. Every season seems to have a big name sitting on ESPN.
I don't even think Chip Kelly's in the conversation. If he's in, of course, that's 1A for sure.
I can't name 3 candidates. I can't name 3 people out there, honestly, Jason. I don't think you and I together, Shawn, can put together 3 names that are worth hiring.
No, like I said, if you can take Herman, you can steal Herman, but guys that are out there available, I don't know.
I can't name 3. And Jason,
so just stay for a few more years. Maybe PJ Fleck will become a badass, and then we'll go after him.
I would consider Greg Schiano, but the future is offensive coaches, being head coaches. So a defensive coach might not be the solution,
Yeah, I mean, would you keep Wilson? No. Yeah?
Maybe.
I don't know.
You could, but let's get to Jason.
Still, he got ran out of Indiana for being a dick. I don't need anybody messing with the program, man.
That's true.
Just manage the program. The program's fine.
Yeah, and Jason's second question was, does Urban throw in a little practice for Michigan this week? I say definitely yes.
Yeah, I would think so.
I think this is like a 50-50 kind of week, 50% Illinois and 50% Michigan, right?
Yeah, but what do you have to look at on Michigan? I guess how to beat their defense.
Right.
That offense is pathetic.
Right.
It beats itself.
Like me. Hey-o.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with you there, Jason. Plenty of Michigan tape being watched in the Woody this week. So let's get to our next guy, new guy on the scene, Zachary Pop. I'm going to call him Z-Pop. He needs to change his Twitter handle. He actually tweeted at the show and said that he is not a bot, so that's officially been published.
Yeah, but if you were a bot, I feel like that's just what you'd say.
Yeah. So at PopZJ4478, does Herb stick to the run like he did against Michigan State, or does playing a bad team bring back bad habits?
I think you'd be. I don't know. I guess it depends on their mindset. I mean, you almost want to see him throw it, so Michigan doesn't have any tape, but there's plenty of tape out there. Just we run the ball, run fucking ball.
Yep.
If you would have run the ball at Iowa, pretty much all our losses in the Urban Meyer area, run the ball, and we don't lose. Figure out a way to run that ball, and you don't lose.
Yeah.
Period. Will they do it? I don't know. It is Illinois. I'm hoping what we do is we run early and often, start blowing them out, and then we open it up a little bit with our backup quarterbacks to get them some throwing experience in a game.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
It's kind of backwards as to what you'd usually do, but I hope Herb doesn't take his foot off the gas this week. I feel like with the backup quarterbacks, don't be afraid to run the offense this week in the second half.
Yeah.
Keep it wide open.
Right. Yeah, I agree. So let's jump into some quick playoff talk. Buckeyes came in at 9 on Tuesday night. They had a conference call with Kirby Hocutt. He's kind of the spokesman for the committee. And he said that numbers 1 through 5 were really close, and numbers 7 through 11 were really close. And he said that OSU could have moved a couple spots higher or lower. So interesting debate.
So who's got number 6 locked down? 1 through 5 are extremely close. 7 through 11, but 6 is rock solid.
Auburn, 8-2 Auburn. So yeah, that's fine. There's still a lot of football to be played. Unfortunately, this week, the SEC and the ACC are setting up their cupcake schedule prior to their rivalry games. So there's really no threat of a top 10 team losing this week. The only one would be Michigan at Wisconsin. So Whiskey's got a ball game on their hands, but I don't see them losing at home, especially with this freshman quarterback.
It'd be pretty disappointing if Whiskey loses.
Yeah,
I'd like to run the table here and play an undefeated Whiskey. It's the only way we have a chance to get in.
Yeah, it's going to look best for us, that's for sure. So, cheering for the Badgers, definitely going to be in play this week. And it's always good to cheer against Michigan. So, no problem doing that.
And then all the big games are next week, and a bunch of them play each other. And then the ones that don't play each other have to play each other in their championship games.
Right.
And we're going to be right there. We're going to end up 4 or 5 if we win out.
Yeah.
I guess.
I agree. It's going to be interesting. So, like I said, unfortunately, nothing's going to really change this week. Everybody's going to basically hold pat. So, not a lot to cover there. But Thanks again, Buckeye fans, for joining us tonight. Good show. Ran through it kind of quickly, I know, but there's not a lot to talk about with Illinois. I mean, honestly, what can you really say? But we'll get back into it this week and give you our extra points coming out early in the week and quickly recap that Illinois game. Hopefully things go as planned and we don't have any issues. As you know, always hit the website up at thebuckeyecast.com and find us on social media at the Buckeye Cast. Henry, thanks for calling in from the road.
Here, here.
And we'll look forward to a good weekend of football.
All right.
Have a good. Go Bucks.
Go.
Take care. Later.
It's fun time.